OldGuyTalks.com is all about being a better man. Join me on this kick-ass journey. Exclusive stuff for members only in the Old Guy Cave. Opt in now. This is Oris the Old Guy from www.oldguytalks.com talking to you on Sunday, January 29, 2017. Having a little cigar on the patio. It's gotten a lot warmer here in Scottsdale, beautiful Scottsdale, Arizona. It's been really cold, really rainy. Kind of enjoyed that, but enjoying the nice time out here too. So before I get into the politics, I need to tell you that on February 8th, I'm going to be posting an interview with world-renowned expert on ketosis and ketogenic diets, Dr. Dom D'Agostino. Now, just to let you know that this is a special diet. It's not some diet that you hear about Saturday morning at 9 o'clock when people are trying to sell you vitamins and syrups and all sorts of crazy shit that probably doesn't work. This is actually a diet that was originally developed at the Mayo Clinics, used at Johns Hopkins and numerous other institutions of renown, medical institutions of renown in the United States and around the world. It's used to treat, among other things, epilepsy that's not responsive to drugs. Also, it's used to burn fat as an energy source and used as adjunct therapy in cancer, in some cancers and diabetes and other things. So if you know someone who suffers from any of those diseases or is interested in improving their performance as an elite athlete, or not so, in my case, not so elite athlete, well, watch that. February 8th, be posting that. It's going to be a good interview. Get into the weeds about it and going to talk a little bit more. So now for the highlights of this week. And Trump mania, or Trump derangement syndrome, is going on. Well, the Trumpster is doing pretty much what he always does, is come in and suck all the air out of the room and leave nothing for others. And in a political version of Fast and Furious, he's making a lot of headwind in his promises and stirring up some controversy at the same time, whether it's a freeze on federal hiring, gag order on the EPA, signing of the Keystone pipeline, signing off on the Keystone pipeline, or the ban on immigrants, the very quote-unquote controversial ban on immigrants. Moving fast and making good on his promises. Folks, he's overwhelming the press and the Democratic establishment. They just don't know where to attack him next. They're really truly overwhelmed, and you can tell by the frantic nature of their attacks on him. So, we'll be talking a little bit more about that, a lot of that stuff later on, but I want to get into some of the other stuff here. Here now, Chucky Cheesy Schumer, slow walking the appointments of the president, cabinet appointments, and this is unlike the Republicans, who are surrender monkeys as a general rule. They gave up pretty quickly on a number of the President Obama's appointments, but Chucky Cheesy is not doing so, and he's basically slow walking them to no avail, just to be obstinate because he doesn't have the votes to prevent anyone from being basically approved as a cabinet appointee. Now, more good news for Republicans. Lots of really good news. If you look at the people who are in the running to become head of the Democratic Party, well, I'll tell you, it's a series of libtards and loons. Oh my gosh. Let me start off with the executive director of the Idaho Democratic Party. Let's see, her name is Susan Boynton Brown. Now, her idea, her platform is basically that if you happen to be white, you shouldn't talk. You should just basically shut up. And her campaign is basically honky, shut up. Talk about, there's a uniting theme that's going to really draw more people into the Democratic Party. Yeah, and then you got this anti-Semite Congressman Keith Ellison from Minnesota. He's a good friend of that great uniter in the United States, Louis Farrakhan. That's right. And so these are great people. And personally, my favorite is Susan Boynton Brown. I think that she'd be so off the rails that she's going to drive more and more people to the Republican Party. And so good luck, Democrats. I mean, holy moly. You haven't learned anything from this election, have you? You haven't, just in total denial. But, okay. So Okay, let's talk a little bit about this whole voter fraud thing. I know everybody's saying, oh, it's unsubstantiated, da, 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 da. I believe there's a study just came out, I think it was reported in Wall Street Journal, among other places, that talked about 800,000 voters that might have voted illegally. And for those of you that don't know, California has an interesting situation with how they get people on the voting rolls. That's right. If you apply for a driver's license, and people that are here illegally in the United States can get a driver's license in California very easily, well, you automatically go on the voting rolls. That's right. You don't even have to ask to be put on it. There's a box that says yes and no, that you want to be put on the voting rolls. But if you don't check anything, guess what? You go on the voting rolls. So there's no real check as to whether we have people that are here in the country illegally voting. And this is in California. There's some other states that have some peculiar things. I can't remember, it's either Oregon or Washington. They also have kind of a weird thing where they have the honor system. When you come in, no ID, you just show up and ask for a ballot and you vote. So, folks, it's really, really kind of interesting going on. Now, you know, I feel sorry for the president of Mexico, Nieto. The guy's just in a tough place. Man, first of all, he's got a 12% approval rating in his own country. He's got crime is up. The economy is down. Basically, the United States is taking jobs from Mexico. Wow, and that's something unusual. That hasn't happened in a while. And he's got his wife's involved in some sort of controversy regarding buying a house, and everybody's wondering where the hell did the money come from. Crime is up. The economy is not very good in Mexico. So he's got all sorts of problems. And he's got this whole thing. Trump says, we're building the wall, and you're going to pay for it. As you can tell, there have been some conversations behind the scenes, quiet, whatever. This is all going to get figured out, and it's going to get figured out in America's basically going to be in the winning side of this thing. I'll tell you why. Because Mexico can't afford to lose America as a trading partner. We're their biggest trading partner. And the truth of the matter is, we sneeze, they get double pneumonia. That's just the truth of the matter, and there's no way, there's the reality of it. He's going to have to come to that reality. I'm sure he already has come to that reality. He's just trying to figure out how to make it palatable politically, because that's what politicians do. They make things palatable politically. So, and you know, it's important, and Trump understands it's important, that how he handles this, because other people are watching in the world how he handles this, namely the Chinese and the Russians. Just like the Soviets were watching how President Reagan handled the air traffic controllers, the Chinese and the Russians are watching how Trump is going to handle Mexico. And they're paying real close attention, because soon they're coming up next. And now, in the sad part, despicable part, Chelsea Handler, who used to be funny, I actually thought that she was really funny, failed to say that it was wrong for the Saturday Night Live writer, Susan Rich, or Katie Rich, for calling out Byron Trump, making fun of him, saying he's going to be the next shooter. That was totally despicable. Can you imagine if that had happened and it was the Obama daughters were involved? Everybody would be in outrage. But there's no outrage in the mainstream media regarding that, because, of course, they're hypocrites. They're hypocrites. There's no outrage. So I think that was just a horrible thing. And I'm sure it will continue, because there's no outrage, hardly a mention of it in the lame street media. So, folks, there's going to be a lot more coming down the pike. For right now, this is Orsi Old Guy from www.oldguytalks.com signing off. And remember, create a kick-ass life. God, I hate it when that cigar goes out. Opt in and encourage other old guy assholes like you to opt in also.